good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice. You have a community. You are never, ever alone, ever. Now, here on Invisible Condition, we also know that life with an invisible condition can be rough sometimes, can be hard. I'm 7 brain surgeries in. I get it. Totally get it. My family and I have been through quite the ringer over the last 10 years with four brain surgeries packed into 12 years. It's been nuts. So I get it. Now, we also know that there is always hope. So we want to make sure we drive that home. We like to operate in the world of hope. Okay. If it's been a minute for you and you're losing that hope, join us. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful thing. Hope is awesome. So, and now I want to talk about a couple things real quick before we dive in with our amazing guest today. I want to tell you about 2 things. One is the nonprofit arm of Invisible Condition. It's called Hydro with Hope. Hydro with Hope was formed in 2022 in order to help people with a condition called hydrocephalus, which is what I was born with, and has resulted in all those fun surgeries. And now that can be rough sometimes, right? So we created some resources for families that are going through that. And one of them is a journal, a fill-in-the-blank journal called My Hydro Warrior Story that we want to get into the hands of every family with, dealing with this condition in the country. And there are hundreds and thousands of babies born with this every single year. So we got our work cut out for us. And we know that. And in fact, we're at a point now that our task list of things to do is outgrowing our funds to be able to accomplish it. So number one, if you'd like to donate, thank you. hydrowithhope.com is where you can do that. And if you would be interested in helping us in any other way, maybe your business, I have a really cool opportunity for any businesses that want to passively support our nonprofit. It is a really cool opportunity to do that without messing with your bottom line at all. In fact, you'll see an ad for this company. It's called Sharing the Credit, and it's an amazing opportunity for any business that wants to help can do it that way. But either way, shoot me an email. Let me know. Let's have a conversation. The other thing is advertising, right? TV has advertising. You will see commercials during this show. And we love all our advertisers and sponsors. And we would love for you to be one as well if it fits, right? So shoot me an email. Let me know what you do and that you would like to help. And I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you. And we'll see, where that fits, whether it's product placement on the set here. We've done that. In fact, we did that a few weeks ago with a show with a coffee company. I cleared out these books and we put coffee right there. There's all kinds of possibilities for advertising. So just let me know. Let me know what you're thinking and we'll figure it out. I'd love to talk to you. So, all right, that is enough of that. Let's get back on track here and get our guest on the show. Now, our guest is Shelley Martinez. And Shelley teaches women and men who resonate with her message how to tame their anxiety. Basically, if you're experiencing anxiety, Shelley's your person, man. Tame their anxiety so they can breathe easier, take control of their days, and stop being haunted by their to-do list. As a business owner, mine is really long. And it's hard not to be haunted by it sometimes. It wakes me up in the middle of the night sometimes. I run downstairs and do something on the laptop. So any to-do list, time, energy, productivity. I mean, there's so many aspects to this that can cause anxiety. She can help you, okay? As an anxiety alchemist, she likes to call herself. She helps her clients do a complete 180 in how they see and experience anxiety, transforming it from something that works against them into a superpower. I can't wait for you to meet her. Let's bring her on here and get this show on the road here. All right, Shelley. Hey,
Hey.
so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
This is going to be awesome. All right, I'm gonna do one thing here before we get started. By the way, anybody that is we're gonna be here for the next 50 minutes or so, 45, 50 minutes. If anything Shelley or I say during the show, like light bulb or wait, no, that's not true, I want to talk about it, or whatever comes into your mind about what you hear, throw a comment in Facebook, YouTube. Send me an email at that email address you had before, invisible condition at e360tv.com. Let's talk about it. And also, this will be up the rest of the show. This is Shelley's website, and you can contact her through that as well. Scan the QR code, or there's the website. So we can talk more about that in a minute. The first question I want to ask you, though, is a question, Shelley, that I ask everybody that's on the show. And I always get good answers. So don't worry. It's no pressure. Don't worry.
Okay. No quadratic equations.
It's a question that I ask everybody. So in the throes of, everybody with an invisible condition has hard days. It's just a given, right? There's better days. Some days are better than others. On those days that aren't the awesome days, or they're hard days, how do you still maintain hope?
I think to begin with, I'm just a very hopeful person, so that's easy. But where I really need to boost it up on those rough days is I do a lot of gratitude practices. And that's just part of my daily routine always. Nice. And that really helps to keep me focused on what really matters to me and the bigger picture, and helps me to see that even on a rough day, there's so much more that's going right than is going wrong.
Nice. That's perfect. Yeah, man, that I can totally relate to that. And there was actually a guest on the show a few weeks ago that his daughter it was his daughter that was living with an invisible condition, but she was young, so he was on the show to talk about it. And they had a day like that, and there was a day, and he's like, man, those some days can be rough. And she actually corrected him and said, Dad, it's not the whole day. It was only just a few minutes. It's like, we can turn it around. It was only like 10 minutes, Dad.
Yeah. Perfect.
I love that. Like, coming from she was like 7 or 8 years old. I was like, that's like the most perfect answer ever.
Kids are savant.
Right? Seriously, kids are awesome
when
it comes to that kind of stuff. They have right? They're brave. They just say it, Mm-hmm. So I'm totally excited to learn about all the things with the the tapping and the EMDR and all the things that we're going to talk about today. First, I want you to take us back to your younger self, and tell us about what were some of those first signs that anxiety was kind of taking over.
Well, I have had anxiety for as long as I can remember. One of my earliest memories is of being in kindergarten and my kindergarten teacher telling me that I was going to get ulcers. I know, right?
That's a great thing to tell a kindergartner. What are you, 5?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, about 5. I'm sure I was driving her bananas, but I didn't know what that meant. It just sounded really bad. And so, of course, that made me more anxious. Yeah. But it also let me know that how I felt all the time, number one, wasn't normal. And number 2, people did not want me to feel that way, not be outwardly anxious. And so I started to try to cover it up and pretend that I wasn't. And I became my first client actually in elementary school. I had this theory, which has since been disproved by me and everyone else, that if I was going to be anxious every day, then maybe I could control how and where. So yeah, exactly. Now I know that you don't actually have to be anxious every day. But at the time, that was my reality. And I was, I don't know, in the 4th grade or something. Yeah. And so I started checking out all of the really scary books from the school library and reading them. So, this was my way of trying to control it. And I built this, fort of stuffed animals over me when I slept so that monsters wouldn't get me. I had a special one to protect my neck from vampires.
Wow.
It was a pretty anxious kid. I did not sleep well. It was
That sounds like
kind of
quite the
on
process
stomach
just to go to
aches.
bed. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was very
Woo!
hot. It was very,
Yeah,
very hot, but it felt safer,
sure. Yeah.
and worked a little bit, helped a little bit. And over time, I started to develop what's called high functioning anxiety, which
Mm,
is kind of the evil twin of anxiety because it
yeah.
gets a lot of praise and attention. And most people don't even recognize that you're anxious, but your internal experience is that you're spinning all the time. You're spinning, you're anxious, you're worried about this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
And yes, I got really good at overachieving and trying to be perfect and all of those things because I thought it would protect me from being so anxious, which it didn't. It just made it worse. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. I've had an experience like that too, but it wasn't with anxiety, but it was, yeah, trying to hide something that was not,
Yeah.
I couldn't. There was no way. The more I tried to hide it, the worse it would get. And the more it
Yes.
would present. And I would, yeah, it was crazy. It's almost what you're talking about almost reminds me of like you've seen like a duck on the water, right? Like on the calm pond, right? And he's just gliding along. And then but under the surface,
Yeah.
you know, he's going, man.
Oh,
It's
that's the perfect example.
exactly
Yeah.
that's gotta be close, right?
Yeah, no, it definitely is. That was
Yeah.
my experience, and for so many of us who struggle with that, we look great on the outside. We're dependable, we're reliable. People think we've got it all together, and
Yeah.
we are frantic under that.
Well,
Just absolutely frantic.
I wonder, correct me if I'm wrong, as somebody who has not had that experience, is it kind of it's almost like a continuous cycle. It's like I don't want to disappoint people, and then but then you get so worried that you miss something, and then you disappoint somebody, and then you right, and
Yep.
it just keeps piling on, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Of
Because, I mean, none of us are perfect. We're never going to
course.
be.
No.
And yet, when you struggle with anxiety in this way, you feel like if you're not perfect, then you're horrible. So you go into this very black or white thinking.
Yeah.
And even if you're doing it right, you're afraid all the time that someone's going to catch you and realize that you're not perfect. And so you're checking your emails 5 times before you send them out and rehearsing
Oh,
conversations in your head or going back over them, that evening instead of sleeping about, oh, I should have said this and I should have said that. And they said this and maybe it meant that. And
oh
just making
man.
yourself nuts.
And I'm going to say something really sarcastic right now. Good thing that's never happened to me. Yeah.
Oh, me
Boy.
neither.
Yeah. Good thing that's never been my experience.
Oh. Mm.
Yeah. Anybody else? How many are, who's hitting home here? This is like, seriously, I don't know anybody that has not done that. I mean, just last, like this week, I can think of several examples where I would, like, I have this habit of rewording something in conversation till I get it right, like out loud even
Yeah.
sometimes, and I'll say something 2 or 3 times until I feel like I've said it right, you know. And my family is very gracious. They've known me a long time. In fact, my wife and I have known each other since we were 13. So
Mm.
she's seen me do this forever, and so she's very gracious and very forgiving with it. But it's a thing. It's a thing for a lot of people.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
even and it's okay if there is. I mean, you got to start somewhere. I think that's the point. Is you have you have your starting point. Here's your starting point, but
Yeah.
you don't have to stay there.
No, not at all. And that's the thing I didn't know when I was younger. I thought this is just who I was.
Yeah.
This is obviously who I am. I've been this way every day that I can remember my whole life.
Yeah.
And so this must just be my lot in life. And that's not
Yeah.
actually true.
No, it's not. Well, it's funny because there's. I think I said this on another recent recording of it. We were recording a show for, maybe it was even another show. I can't even remember if we were doing our show or somebody else. But anyway, the point is, the question came up like that, and it was like, oh man, I'm trying to remember well, it doesn't matter. It just fell out of my head, but I had an example. If I think of the example, I'll come back to it. But it's true. Yeah. My goodness. I mean, it doesn't matter how old you are either. Like you could be in elementary school. People in their 80s deal with this, I mean, anybody,
Yes.
any age could suffer, through life like this. And it's just not cool.
No, it's really quite debilitating
It
at
can
the
be.
end of the day. I mean, a lot of people feel like, well, at the very high level, obviously.
Yeah.
And some people feel like this is the thing that gives them their edge and really helps them to stay on top of their game. But what they don't realize is it's actually taking so much time and energy, and it's decreasing their performance on anything, any measure at all. If you're living in that high end of anxiety, then it's causing problems for you, and it creates burnout and resentment and a lot of health conditions, all kinds of problems for people.
You can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously. So what was there had to have been a turning point, right? You're here today, very different,
I made it.
We got a couple minutes before we go to break, but what was that kind of that turning point that kind of got you on the right track?
Well, in the process of trying to figure out my own stuff and figure out how not to be so anxious all the time, I actually became a therapist and was going to therapy. And what I realized is that a lot of the standard treatment for anxiety is very surface level.
Sure.
It's change your thoughts and, relax your body, but it didn't have enough focus. And it, if it works, then it works typically for a short time for people. I mean, there are some people that it helps for a really long time, and that's awesome. But for a lot of us, it's not enough. And I was one of those people. And at the time, my therapist kept encouraging me to try this kind of weird sounding mind-body technique. Okay. And she spent about 6 months trying to convince me to do this. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to do it. It was EMDR.
Hey, and what is, for those of you who don't know, what does EMDR stand for?
It stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, which is why we shorten
why the acronym is what. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a way to work with your nervous system on difficult events. At the time, it was traumatic events was when it kind of originally came out. That's what most of the research was on.
Yeah.
Now we use it for all kinds of things. And so I finally agreed to try this just to make my therapist stop asking me.
Yeah.
And it actually worked.
Hey, they knew what they were talking about. What?
Yeah. And I felt completely different in the space of this hour.
Wow.
I mean, there was so much relief, and the things that had been weighing on me forever since I was like 7 years old, they suddenly didn't have that power over me anymore. And I had no idea I could even feel that way. That's amazing. And so that started me down the rabbit hole of checking out all kinds of mind-body techniques to find out which ones were actually useful and which ones were not quite as useful.
Well, you have set us up for a perfect time for a break because I don't know about you out there, but if I were sitting in your seat, I'd want to ask one question. Well, how does it work? And what did it work? Did it work? We'll cover all that when we come back. So everybody sit tight and don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes.
Hey everybody, Craig Tominini here, founder and CEO of Ask Craig T, and I wanted to do a quick reminder about our podcast every Friday, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube and on all of our social media platforms, so be sure you tune in. Don't miss all the valuable information we're going to give you about how to scale your business using technology.
Hey there. You know, every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Hey friends, this is Ben Hummel. I'm the host of the Genius Way Show, where you'll learn to access your inner gifts, talents, and callings and how to express them out in the world. Join me here each Sunday at noon Pacific time on the Achieve TV network, right here on E360 TV.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Shelley, thank you for being here. This is awesome. If anybody was here during the first break, for those of you who were, then this is going to be a perfect segue into the second, because there's a lot that if you didn't see it, go back and watch it, because you missed a lot. And whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or E360, you can still go back and check it out after we're complete with the show here. So anyway, thank you for watching, and go check it out. Now, we left off talking about, I think we were getting ready to kind of start talking about how you actually can help people, because you had to help yourself first, right? It was like oxygen mask on the airplane, right? Always have to put yours on first, or you're useless to anybody else. So yes. Yeah, so you did that, and you had that turning point of, okay, we got to do something, and your therapist talked you into something, kicking and screaming.
I'm not stubborn or anything.
No, God, me neither. Man, dodged the bullet there. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. In case you weren't sure, everybody, we don't shy away from sarcasm on this show at all. Yeah, there's no sarcasm here.
No.
All right,
no.
So tell us what you did. It was something that you finally caved and said, all right, fine, let's try it. And it worked.
Yeah. And I was completely shocked, like I said. And so kind of looking back, pardon me, looking back at it and really looking at what wasn't working to heal my anxiety and what was working in this particular treatment. What I realized is that most treatments are working from what I call the outside in.
Yeah.
So it's things like external, situations and working with your thoughts and, different things like that. And again, if that works for you, awesome. That's great.
But it's different, right? Yeah.
But everyone is different. Exactly. Yeah. And for some of us, that just isn't enough. Right. And so I started looking more at mind-body techniques and healing the nervous system.
Yes.
So going in from the root and working with the foundation.
Yes.
That's
something you don't hear much in the conventional medical world, is root cause. I swear, if I ever hear somebody in that environment talk about tackling the root cause, I think I'll fall off that table they tell you to sit on. I don't know what I would do. Because you don't hear that as often. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus in medicine. I wouldn't be here without good doctors and surgeons and stuff over the years. But root cause is not normally something they talk about. So, but you experienced EMDR for the first time, and it worked. And so this is now, and I think we were talking about actually leading the audience through something here, just to kind of show them how you're doing it. But I don't want to rush you, but I just want to make sure you get to it, because it's going to be cool. So,
definitely. I have some really cool techniques and tools to share that are going to be really useful for regrounding, for anxiety, for anger, for irritation, annoyance, distress of any kind. Believe it or not, they all come from a similar place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so one of the things I work with my clients on is rewiring their nervous system to be more calm, because we've learned how to be anxious on high alert. And, don't mistake me, we need anxiety up to a point. If someone cuts you off suddenly in traffic and you have to slam on your brakes, you need that. It causes us, I think of anxiety as like a yellow light. It causes us to pay attention to, hey, things are changing, they're different. Heads up.
Would another way of saying that be, because we're talking at the root of it here, we're talking about sympathetic versus parasympathetic is what we're really talking about. So, and if any of you have been watching for any amount of time, you've heard Michelle LeBaron and Stephen Rodriguez and Bryce Briggs talk about that a lot with that. So yeah, the parasympathetic versus the sympathetic is how I kind of frame that. And so I don't know if that's how you, and fight or flight, right? That's is the thing you're talking about, right? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Which, I mean, the fight or flight response is being too much well, not necessarily too much. It depends on the situation. But for my clients, some places it's good.
Yeah.
Being chased by a tiger, you definitely want this.
Right.
Oh,
exactly.
A lot of our stressors in this day and age don't really respond well to fight or flight. You can't run away from the IRS indefinitely. Eventually.
Yeah. Well, and they're not life or death. I mean, back in the caveman days, it was like you eat or get eaten, and it's like the tiger is literally coming to kill you. And so we don't have a lot of that now. And so maybe that's why we don't know how to respond to it, because it's not as, I don't know.
Well, we also don't work it out of our system, which is a different conversation. When we build up those stress chemicals, those hormones, we don't work it out of our system. And so one of the things I want to teach you today is a shortcut version of tapping that I do, which has been proven to help clear out cortisol in your body, which is a major hormone with stress.
Love it.
Yeah. So some cool stuff. So that's just a little teaser. We'll start up with a couple other things first.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Bring it on. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
We got about 11 minutes left. So we got plenty of time. Let's do it.
I can do this. So I wanted to roll back though, because we're talking for the first segment about how do you maintain hope. And I was talking about gratitude, and gratitude is really integral in maintaining hope, but also it's antithetical to anxiety. So it's really hard to be in gratitude and anxious at the same time.
Yes. Sure.
And so I'd like to start just by teaching you my gratitude practice, which is a little bit different than other people's, but there's a method to my madness. So very basically, what you want to do is come up with 3 things you're grateful for every day and list them. Now, here's the catch. They've got to be 3 new things.
Okay. Every day.
Okay. Every day. 3 new things every day. We do this at the dinner table in my house. And so we'll catch each other sometimes. Oh, you used that one. Keep thinking. Because what you're doing is you're literally rewiring your brain when you do it this way. So a lot of gratitude practices are like, just list it. And the reason that's not as powerful is because most people tend to list the same things over and over. With this practice, of course, you're grateful for your family, your health, the food on your table, clean air, whatever. Yeah. But if you've used it before, you have to keep looking. And your brain works like Google. So if you ask Google what's awful about today, you're going to get everything that's awful, right? But if you ask Google what's good about today, what am I grateful for? You're going to get that. 100%. And so with that process of, I already used that one, I got to keep looking. You're literally training your brain to be much more grateful.
To look for the opportunities to be grateful.
Exactly. And it has a profound impact on happiness. It does take about 4 to 6 weeks, but it's totally worth it and easy. Yeah. So that's the first thing that I would offer that I hope people, and I hope you take me up on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next?
So what's next is a diaphragm breathing exercise.
Yes.
Which is my favorite breathing.
Mine too. We talked about this before we did the show. Like when
yeah.
Anybody who's a singer out there, anybody who's like you'll know what this means. Yeah, it's really
Yes.
cool. But go ahead. For those who don't, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of breathing techniques. There's a reason I like this one the best, and it goes with my tapping as well. So I got to teach it to you at some point today for this to work.
Nice.
Is what I'm going to ask you to do in a moment is breathe in deeply through your nose, expanding your diaphragm front to back, side to side, as much as is comfortable. And for a lot of people, this is easier if they're not leaning against something. So you may have to sit up a little bit to do it. Then when you exhale, the goal is to exhale for about twice as long. So very slowly, 1.5 to twice as long, as though you're blowing through a straw, like.
Okay.
Okay.
And can I just throw something out there? When you're breathing with your diaphragm, I like to say you're filling up your lungs like you're filling up a glass of water from the bottom up. So none of this. This is not right breathing. It's
your belly should be rising.
Yeah.
Exactly. Your shoulders should not be involved. Your belly should be rising.
Yep.
There's actually different neurons lower down in your lungs than at the top of your lungs. And that's part of the relaxation response. So this works for everyone. It's my front line. But before we do it, I'd ask you to just take a second and check in with your body and see if there is any stress or tension, just for a little before and after.
Nice.
So go ahead and let's do this together. Let's breathe in deep. And exhale slowly through a straw. And we usually do between 2 and 4 of those. So let's do another. And maybe one more.
Okay. All right.
And what do you notice about your body now?
I kind of feel like falling out of my chair and being sort of like relaxed. I don't want to sit up anymore. I just want to.
Exactly, me too. I'm like, we're just going to spend the rest of the time like this. That's the one problem with teaching this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that we get really relaxed doing it. And this works because it causes your vagus nerve, which is this nerve that's really related to your fight or flight response. It causes it to disengage from that fear center in your brain, the amygdala. And so this way of breathing works for everybody. If you have a body, it's going to work for you. So it's the first thing I teach people because it's one of those things that you can do anywhere. Nobody actually notices you breathing like that. And if you're really in a pinch and it's going to be just very strange if you blow through a straw, then just try to keep your exhaling really slow for regular. But that's going to calm you down immediately.
Yeah. So simple. So it's always the simple stuff, right? That you forget too, that you're like,
Yeah, exactly. And it's powerful. With all of these things that I teach people, practicing is really the most powerful part. Because the more time you spend calm, the more your brain wires to it. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself. Every time you're exposed to something new, you read a book, you see a movie, you hear a new song, it doesn't matter. Your brain rewires around that.
Yep.
And so when you are more calm, more of the time, your brain starts to rewire to that too. Because the brain of someone who's very anxious is very different than the brain of someone who isn't.
You know, that reminds me, and I know we need to get to the next exercise, so I'll make this quick, but I have there's an app out there that I have on my phone that record, that you can listen to music in the environment, like if you're in a grocery store or you're in the car listening, and it'll listen to the song and then it'll say, oh yeah, that's the song, and it'll put it on your phone and it'll like create a playlist of all these songs that you just hear throughout the day. And so we were just dropping off our son at college this week, and so I wanted to remember that. And so there was a song playing in the commons of the the university center or whatever and I was like, oh, that's a cool song, that's cool. And so I captured it, and so now every time I hear that song, I'm like, oh, that's right, we were dropped. That's right, it was at that building on campus, and it's powerful. Music is powerful, and when you like establish those memories with that, and it just all goes together. Is all.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. One of my favorite tools to use with people is to have them create a happy playlist.
Happy one, sleepy one, all the
exactly. Right? I have one that's called Energy Shot for those mornings when it's hard to wake up. I mean, just kind of whatever mood you're looking for, and start cultivating that.
Totally.
And put it on, and moving your body is important too with it.
Yep.
And you can totally change your mood in a couple of minutes doing that. Gosh. So that's a bonus technique. Yeah.
Won't even charge you for that one, everybody.
Won't even charge you for that one. That one's free.
That one was bonus. Yeah.
Exactly. So you ready to learn some tapping?
Let's do it.
All right. Because the EMDR is something they can't really do here on this show, but tapping is an amazing process. It's based on acupressure, and it's got a ton of research behind it, which is still ongoing. We know that it decreases stress hormones and chemicals in the body. It improves the neurotransmitters. You have more positive neurotransmitters like serotonin, really good stuff. And it has been shown to rewire your nervous system.
Beautiful.
To be more calm, like we talked about. And it's good for any kind of physical or emotional distress. Obviously, it's not a substitute for medical care, but the rule of thumb is try it on everything, because at worst you're out like a minute and a half.
Well, and start with the least invasive thing you can think of to deal with whatever you're dealing with, and slowly move toward the more invasive thing. And if you have to do something medical, great, but start here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is easy. I mean, you can do it on the way you're going somewhere. You can do it kind of anywhere. Looks a little unusual. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the tapping points I use. And again, this is a shortcut way of doing it. I found it over the years to be just as effective as the long way.
Okay.
And I find that my clients are much more likely to use this and do it.
Yeah.
So that's,
Okay.
Got to go with what works. So the first tapping point is the top of your head, the crown of your head.
Okay.
And you would just be tapping very lightly with your fingers, just so they bounce back a little. If this hurts, then you're tapping way, way, way too hard.
Doing it wrong. Yeah.
Exactly. You're getting a little crazy there. And I'm going to remove my glasses really quick. I forgot to do that, which is optional, but it's easier for me. Then the next point is in between your eyebrows at like your third eye spot. So a little bit up. Yeah, there you go. And you can use either hand. You can switch hands. It doesn't matter. And then the next spot is on the temple, on the orbital bone here. Yeah.
On just one or both? Or
you can do both if you want, but one is sufficient.
Okay.
And then under the eye on the orbital bone. Good. And then on the collarbones, which you can hit both if you want, or you can do just one.
Does it matter what side on those? Or sometimes
doesn't matter what side.
Okay.
This is super forgiving. So those are all
thumb is very more important to do the different sides. So you never know.
Yeah, no. For some techniques, it's very important what side you do. But for this one, whatever hand you want to use, whatever side, switch sides, make yourself happy. Cool. Get creative. No. So now we need a target. We need something that we want to basically get rid of or mitigate. Do you have any stress, any kind of headache, anything at all that's going on with you right now that we can use to demo?
I mean, it's probably from outside sources. It's probably not because of emotional distress or anything, but yeah, I've got a little bit of a headache. Yeah, probably because I haven't had enough water today, but yeah.
Well, and I want you to drink water, definitely.
Yes.
But we can also mitigate this at this point because, like I said, it's good for all kinds of distress.
Yeah.
And so where's this headache? Is it kind of a throbbing one?
Probably it's like up here in the front. It's like it's minor, but it's just right there.
Yeah, for sure. So if you take a second just to check in with it, and rated on a scale of 0 to 10. If 0 is none and 10 is the worst headache in the universe, where are you at?
Maybe a 1 or point, like it's noticeable. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's there, and it's just kind of annoying because it's there,
Okay.
Would you just leave?
Yeah, exactly. Enough
it's
already.
not
You're
life altering or
uninvited.
anything. Just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So
about 1.5.
yeah, sure. Something like that.
Okay. Can you bump it up to 1.5 or 2?
You want me to make it worse?
Do you trust me,
We'll call
Jeff?
it a 2. We'll call it a 2. I don't want to make it worse. I could make it worse. There's a wall back here. I could just, no, we'll call it a 2. We'll call it a 2.
Okay. I'll explain to you later why we did that. There's
okay. I was going to say, I've never heard somebody say, could you make it worse for me just for a minute? No. Yeah.
Well, remember, I'm also a hypnotherapist. So
there you go. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, there's a reason here.
All right. All right,
okay.
Go for it.
So what we're going to do is just go through those tapping points. And at each point, we're going to say, I'm letting go of this headache in the front of my head right now. Or I'm releasing, whichever wording you like better.
Okay.
And so go ahead and just tap with me. You're going to do what I'm doing. I'm letting go of this headache in the front of my head right now.
I'm letting go of this headache in the front of my head right now.
And weirdly, this works better if you smile, but it still works even if you want to frown. Go for it.
I don't
Not
frown.
That you're frowning,
Usually,
but I mean, you can check it and see. So I'm releasing this headache from the front of my head right now.
I'm releasing this headache from the front of my head right now.
Outside of the eye, I'm letting go of this headache in the front of my head right now.
I'm letting go of this headache in the front of my head right now.
And under your eye, I'm letting go of this headache in the front of my head right now.
I'm letting go of this headache in the front of my head right now.
Exactly. And collarbone. I'm letting go of this headache in the front of my head right now.
I'm letting go of this headache in the front of my head right now.
It's one whole set. Are you moving? Are you still there? Do you need another set?
I'm good. Yeah. We can,
yeah. Where would you rate your headache now?
I mean, it wasn't terrible to begin with, but I would say probably less. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do another round because I'm a perfectionist, remember, recovering, but I want to get it down.
We have time for another round, but we could, we could. Is it better if you do it back to back to back to back, or can you?
You can stop in the middle. This is a very forgiving technique, but I want to at least show you the end of it. So what you would do is continue to do that until you were down to a 0 or 1. It's a little hard because you were kind of at a 1, 1.5 anyway. But how we end it is you want to grab your wrist, either one, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And we're going to do 2 of those diaphragm breaths that we did earlier.
Okay.
So breathe in deep. And release slowly through a straw. And the second one when you're ready. How's that feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure we have time to make it perfect right now, but
we couldn't do perfect because we do have time constraints because I got caught off. I do that. Kind of that girl. I want to share everything I've got.
All right. I get it. And that's why this is awesome, because you want to share with everybody. So awesome. Well, no, that is good though. I had forgot, there's so many techniques out there. I sometimes forget all that's out there, and so to practice all of them, you'd be busy all day. So it's
no, I could do this all day.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna go to we got one more sponsor we got to make happy real quick. So we're gonna go to one more break just for like a minute, and then we'll come back, and I want to just finish up right. So we'll come back and talk some more. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a couple minutes. I'm feeling all calm now. I almost feel like I don't want to push the button. It's like, come on, it's going to start.
I'm noodly myself. I love teaching this.
Here we
It's the
go.
best.
I know, it's awesome. Well, all right, everybody, chill out. We'll see you in just a couple minutes. Oh gosh.
Hi, I'm Jake, co-founder and CEO of One Hope. My friends and I started this company in 2007 out of the back of this truck on a mission to enrich people's lives through wine. Today, we've grown into a state-of-the-art Napa Valley winery that proudly houses a portfolio of award-winning wines which have touched lives through over 40,000 nonprofits at home and around the globe. And it's happening every day. Being rooted in local communities and contributing to initiatives that uplift neighborhoods, celebrate cultures, and promote community. It's what got us here. You see, through every bottle sold, your purchase can make a direct impact on the causes you care about. One Hope's cause of choice has given back over $10 million and counting.
Hey friends, this is Ben Hummel. I'm the host of the Genius Way Show, where you'll learn to access your inner gifts, talents, and callings, and how to express them out in the world. Join me here each Sunday at noon Pacific time on the Achieve TV network, right here on E360 TV.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Man, if any of you did that with us at the end of the last segment, you guys are probably struggling to stay awake right now.
Napping on the couch, yeah.
Not my fault. Okay, this show is not putting you to sleep. Okay, that was not me.
No. It's fascinating and exciting. We all know this. It's true. Come on. You're just really relaxed.
But that technique is awesome. So I hope you do feel a little sleepy, because it's cool to feel that way a little bit. So you know what? There's probably so many people out, there's so many people out there that are so riddled with anxiety, and they feel like it's normal. It's like a badge of honor, right? Like, you're so busy and you're so anxious. Like, it doesn't have to be that way, like, this is proof right here. Anybody that did that exercise with us, they're like, oh, I wish I could feel like this all the time. So is that possible? Are you able to spit? I mean, you got to do the fight or flight thing once in a while. You don't want to get run over or whatever, but is this something that you could say to somebody, yes, you could live in this?
Definitely. This can become your new normal. Nice. And that's really the whole goal with my clients, is to help them live in this space of being calm and relaxed and confident. And from there, they're able to achieve so much in their lives. It gives back time, energy, productivity. It gives you freedom, because being anxious all the time takes up massive amounts of time and energy, from trying to stuff it down and pretend you're fine and deal with, all of the fallout with it. And so recognizing that we have some power over our nervous system and brain, that we can actually start to shift it. And that was when I asked you before the break to see if you could bump up your headache. The point there was to show your brain that you actually have the power to control it to some extent.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. Hey, anybody out there that lives with an invisible condition similar to mine, hydrocephalus. I mean, believe me, we're headache connoisseurs around here, man. Yeah. I know exactly what this headache means versus that headache. And yes, I know there's not a lot of people that can say this sincerely, but yes, I could control it. Yes, for sure.
Yes.
I could make it worse, or I could make it better. Yes, for sure.
Well, if you can make something worse, conversely, you can make it better too.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a little bit of the hypnotherapy thrown in with it. That's some of that stuff.
Love that. Yeah.
The Swiss Army knife kind of approach.
Oh no,
Like,
no, I love that approach because you never know what you're. It's like the buffet, right? You don't always eat everything from the buffet every single time, but the options are always there.
yes,
It's you got to
absolutely.
have the options.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so rewiring your nervous system is possible. I've done it. Hundreds of my clients have done it. And yeah, you actually wouldn't want to get rid of all of your anxiety. A lot of people start out saying, "Oh, I want to get rid of all my anxiety." That would be dangerous.
No, you don't. Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to live in anxiety.
Right.
You want it to be situational, like when you get caught off in traffic or something like that. So, because it forces you to pay attention to things and you need that. That's good advice. But when you're living in this state of high anxiety all the time, that's not healthy and that's not normal.
Right.
And that doesn't feel okay.
No, but I think so many people have just accepted it as okay, and it's almost like they need to have permission to not be in that state because it's in this society nowadays, it's just become, like I said earlier in the show, it's almost like a badge of honor, to be so stressed out all the time because you're so busy being productive and whatever, but are you really? I don't know. Maybe not.
How productive are we really when we're battling with that? Not as much. The research says no.
Exactly. And there's no such thing as multitasking, by the way. I know I'm going to get some hate mail on that probably, but it's true.
It is
Look
true.
it up. You might be really good at switching from one thing to another quickly.
Yes.
But there is no such thing as multitasking.
Exactly. You're just switching your attention really fast.
I just said that out loud. Deal with it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
it's
saying
true.
it with you. I'm agreeing with you.
That's right.
That's absolutely true.
So, well, hey, we got about a minute left, minute and a half left. I told you this was going to be the fastest time in the day. What do you want to leave our audience with in this last minute or so?
So what I really want people to know is to just recap what we were saying, that you don't have to live with high anxiety, with high functioning anxiety. This is not actually your identity. It's not who you are. Your biology is not your destiny. And you can take control and rewire your nervous system and brain to be able to live more calmly, more confidently, with freedom, with some peace.
Yeah.
More joy, frankly.
Nice. Peace and joy are two things that are always not, there's almost never enough.
Agree.
Yeah. So to be able to create that is pretty awesome.
Yeah, because you can cultivate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is up to you. What? Come on. People don't hear that very often. So
No, they don't.
It's up to you. Yeah.
No, really, no matter how long you've struggled with this.
Yeah.
My oldest client was 76 years old. Yeah.
Man, it must have been a party after they got, Yeah,
she'd struggled a long time, but she did amazing things in such a short period. And that's the thing with these techniques, is they're very fast.
Yeah.
So we're not talking years and years of therapy.
No, it's awesome because really, I mean, that's how you want stuff to work, as fast. So
yeah, get relief.
Well, thank you, Shelley. You know what? Unfortunately we're out of time, but this is awesome. I'm so glad that we got to do this. Thank you so much for being here and walking us through all this stuff and helping us learn. And so thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. This has been a joy to do. I've really, really had a great time today.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you in just a second here. All right, everybody. Man, good stuff. I still feel so relaxed, man. I'm just like, I was just slouching in my chair. Man, join us next time. I thank you for being here. Like, follow, subscribe, share, all the things. If you're watching on social media, you know what you're doing. Join us for our next show, which will be on September 12th, which is coincidentally my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom, on September 12th. Friday, September 12th. So join us on that day. And until then, have an amazing day, and we'll see you soon.